tricking all my money out. Anything you want, step in out now. Anywhere you want, diamond rings, cars, living that good life. So sexy, girl, you got me saying, oh, let's get it right now. Oh, gotta get it right, get it right. Oh, get it on right now. Oh, gotta get it right, get it right. Cause your body is so hot, girl. So hot, gotta give you what I got. I got. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. It don't get no better than tonight. We're in heaven. This is the best night of my life. Cause you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenon. Nobody does it better. Nothing can compare to you. I could take you around the world. What you waiting for? Lunch in Hollywood, dinner in New York. Expensive shoes, I know you like living it up. So sexy, girl, I'm just saying. Oh, let's get it right now. Oh, gotta get it right, get it right. Oh, get it on right now. Oh, gotta get it right, get it right. Cause your body is so hot, girl. So hot, gotta give you what I got. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. Hey, let me please. It don't get no better than tonight. We're in heaven. This is the best night of my life. Cause you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenon. Nobody does it better. Nothing can compare to you. 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 Something that I wanna say. Can I play? Unforgettable, unpredictable. Can't leave you alone, so incredible. It's all on you. I got you alone now. What you gonna do? Can't nobody else mess with you. From your head down to your shoes. Ooh, it don't get no better than tonight. We're in heaven. This is the best night of my life. Cause you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenon. Nobody does it better. Nothing can compare to you. It don't get no better than tonight. We're in heaven. This is the best night of my life. Cause you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenon. Nobody does it better. Nothing can compare to you. Go Queens. Go, go, 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 You like the finer things, yeah, you love it. Oh, just like an oven. Oh, they say you're hotter than July. You used to be the life of the party, but now you're broken hearted. And I just came around to wake you up. All that you need is someone to know you. Need to be treated like somebody loves you. And I don't wanna see you looking down. I can change your world. I just have one question. Do you believe in miracles? change your world.
What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing all right. How you?
We are on and popping. Second episode of the conversation with James Billings and friends. Welcome everybody that's in the room. We got an exciting topic tonight, but before we get into that, Deb, Empress, Tammy, Drippy, Empress. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I got to see a friend. Got to get out a little bit. You know, this COVID life. You gotta do what you can.
Right.
Chef Tammy, how's your weekend, love?
Sister, hey, how you doing? You feeling better, Mama?
Much better, thank you. I was under the weather this week, though.
Good to know. My weekend was good. I didn't do much. I just kind of relaxed at home with the hubby. The weather's been kind of crappy here, so we kind of stayed in. So, Drippy Dre, how you been doing, boo?
My weekend been really festive. I got to hang out with Big Bro. We together right now. That's why I got my settings looking crazy, but you know, it's been a blessing week. You know, we've been good, man. Talk about it, Big Bro.
Hey, Dr. man. Yeah, I'm in town now, so I had to fly to New York this weekend to handle some other projects that I'm working on. So currently, I'm right now just filming on a couple of projects. So I'm excited. It's our second week. We had a good week last week. What do you guys think about last week?
It was fantastic. It was great, very informative. Our guest was wonderful. Definitely a conversation piece.
Hey.
Oh my God, I was so amped when we were done. I was like bouncing all over the house. It took me like 3 hours to calm down. So everybody that's tuning in, if anybody missed it, it's on the conversation with James Billings. Go back and watch it. It was a really, really dope episode.
Right. You ladies look wonderful tonight, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the fashion sense. So, Chef Tammy, what's the drink, conversation drink of the night?
Okay, so the conversational cocktail for tonight is called a slow down sangria. So basically what it is you can pick whatever type of red wine you like. Okay, you're going to just chill a glass, pour some ice in it, pour half the glass full of red wine, and then you're going to, you'll splash it with like maybe a ginger ale or a Sprite just for a little bubble. Right. And then, you know, if you want to really slow wine it down, add a shot of your favorite cognac.
Okay. Yeah. Like that? That's it.
Hey. This is a slow wine sangria. This is our conversation cocktail of the day.
Slow wine, like when you like, is it almost like a slow grind?
Yeah, well, listen. What makes it slow wine is when you drop that cognac in there.
Right.
Makes things a little slower and a little more sensual.
That's what's up. So we want to talk about a topic tonight. Y'all want to talk about relationship goals for 2021?
Really though.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Right.
That sounds like it.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have relationship goals. So let's start off. Drippy Dre, what's your relationship goals, man, for 2021?
My relationship goals right now is I'm loving me. COVID was a little wicked, you know what I mean? Things got a little different in the love life spectrum. Right. So I kind of getting back to me, working on the finances, working on the weight, working on, the career goals, things of that nature. I got a lot of good things going on. So it's more about prosperity, productivity, and then adding to the puzzle. But I got to make sure that I'm stable first. And that's a lot of people's problem. They don't fix themselves before they be adding on. So it's a mess. So I'm
going to ruffle some feathers saying that one.
I don't care. I'm repairing.
Okay.
It's the truth.
I don't really care though. If I ruffle them, then they got feathers.
Right. Empress, what's your take on relationship goals? What's like the perfect relationship goal?
Well, My goals this year is a little different. Me and hubby, we still adjusting a new parent life. You know,
Right.
so we getting that routine in. As soon as we get one routine, this little guy want to throw in a new thing for us. So we still getting used to that. But we got some other plans in mind we working on, and you know, we want to keep it on the wraps a little bit. But we got some things in the works.
Okay. Chef Tammy?
Well, as you guys all know, I'm newly married, so I mean, I guess my relationship goal would probably just be to keep strengthening and making my marriage stronger. Building a bond. Becoming more and more closer with my spouse. I mean, other than that, I mean, building businesses and maybe getting a new house, maybe something like that. But just forward movement. Or just merely my relationship goals for 2021, just to keep allowing this relationship to flourish.
Right.
What about you, Dr. Feelgood?
Who's feeling good?
Yeah, man. I make it real good like Dr. Feelgood.
Yes, we know. We know.
For me, I think I'm in a newly space that I'm comfortable in. It's really just to kind of partner with somebody that I have a lot of compatibility with. And if I do get into something serious, it's somebody I can build something with and make sure I add some value, some benefits to their life, as well as mine, vice versa. I think it's important that I needed to take some time because a lot of people probably don't know. I was married for a long time. I've been divorced now going on 3 years. So I learned a lot by being married. And after my marriage, I realized there was some things about me that needed to change and I needed to fix. So my goal is to be everything I'm supposed to be for the woman that I'm going to take serious and bring into my life. I like to say this. I want a woman that doesn't need me for anything, so I can give her everything.
Oh,
that's my goal.
Hey,
brother.
Yeah, definitely.
Good goals, brother. Good bro. Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think that that our brothers and sisters are maybe missing is in regards to goals and healthy relationships for this new year? I mean, what are some of the goals that they should be maybe looking into or things that maybe they should be trying to change? What do you guys think? Anybody?
Well, the first thing people got to change is they realistic goals, because people be wanting a man that's a millionaire and all of this, and they worth 15 cents. So I think you got to be compatible with what you're going for. Like, it's just realism, you know what I mean? So I think you have to be real with yourself to find somebody that's going to be real with you, or you're just going to get something that's short-lived and burned out as fast as it be developed. So, ultimately, you got to build on yourself first, man. Chisel yourself away, get your shit right. Work that out, pardon my language, and develop that before you try to build with anybody else. So it's gonna get messy.
Right.
And
I agree with you, but I don't. I think it's always a work in progress. Like, there's always going to be something that you can work on, and it might be something new. Like, a situation presented itself, and you learned something new about yourself. Like, I can be better at that. I think that's a work in progress, and I think when couples are together, like those works in progress should be trying to work together,
Right. Absolutely. I think the one thing I would probably and maybe the advice that I would offer to people is look less for physical and look for more emotional, mental, and spiritual. Try to take the physicality out of it for a little bit. Take that that temptation out of it, the lust, you know what I'm saying? And get a true sense of who this person actually really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this person to you? Like, what is outside of the bedroom? Do you have anything in common with this individual? Can you have a viable conversation with this person? Can you, can you guys, have a meeting of the minds? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be the one thing I would suggest.
Right.
My mom always said, make sure you like them and they like you. And I'm like, well, of course they like you. They have a crush on me. And I didn't really get it when I was younger.
Right.
But right. Like, if I wasn't, if this person wasn't my significant other, if I wasn't sleeping with this person, would I still want to be around them?
Right.
Ain't
that a good question?
Right. And I guess for me, I really don't like giving advice per se. I like to say I'll put something out there on the plate and eat from it what you must, eat from it what you like. And so there's a couple of things that I would suggest. And one is always kind of self-analyzation. It starts with you kind of, you can't really give somebody something if you're not all together. And a lot of us are givers. A lot of us in relationships, we're trying to make sure somebody good before we good.
Right.
But, a lot of that, you kind of just, I believe you need to work on self, and then accept people for who they are. I think some of the mistakes are we put on people what we want them to be and not who we're looking at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we kind of just, we have an idea of what we want in our mind, and we try to somehow along the way make that person what we want them to be instead of accepting them of who they are.
Who they are.
Some of the things that I would suggest is, work on yourself, and then the person that's in front of you really accept who they are as a person opposed to what you want them to be. And I think your relationship will be a lot smoother. That's just Dr. Feel Good now. I mean,
Drippy, I want to tease you, right?
What's up?
So, Dr. Feelgood, what you're saying is we shouldn't mold people, right?
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not saying. No. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm the molder.
What I am saying is you need to accept people for who they are, but a relationship is two people working together. So I know you going
Drippy over here. He knows.
Go ahead, Drippy. I guess that was really aimed at you, but she said my name.
Yeah, she got shot.
Go ahead, Drip. Add to it.
I mean, realistically though, if you with somebody, right, and you got a structure and a development, and y'all got a common goal in life, that's kind of what me and Tammy is talking about. Two things that roll in cohesion. So she's talking about being able to have somebody that you could socialize with, still being able to talk to, and still be a character that you would want to be around outside of the bedroom. So With that comes a plan, comes goals, comes accomplishments. It can't just be we chilling.
Right.
Agreed.
Well, this is why I say let's take the physicality out of it and let's just really have some conversations. Like, let's just talk. Let's just get to know each other. Do I like you? Do we have anything in common besides the fact that we want to jump into bed together and do this physical thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like it's got to be so much. It's so much deeper than that.
It's even deeper than that though, because I still had good chemistry outside of the bedroom. I still had good character things. But it's still relationships didn't work. So it's not.
Can I ask you a question? What do you think it was? What do you think it was, Dre?
Timing in my life, man. A lot of things got to do with the timing in my life. So it's you meet a person, right, at a time in your life. So with that plan is you're going to develop yourself. You're going to develop with this person, and you're going to have, these grandiose ideas. If you're a thinker, I'm a thinker. Right. I like to say, okay, cool. 3 years down the line, this is where we should be. 5 years down the line, like I'm structured. So ultimately, it's about growth. So it just so happens that either we grow together or we grow apart. Every relationship, that's always my slogan, because that's always what it is. Either we growing together or we growing apart. So now we ain't talking about credit scores leveling up, like accomplishments, like, like business credit. Let's talk about Paydex, Dun & Bradstreet. Like, I want to have big boy conversation. We're not little kids no more. We can't be just going to the movies and roller skating. That's not going to do it right now at this stage of life. And it's a very financial world that we live in, and where you have to have chemistry with that to be symbolic with what's going on, or you just gonna be lost. So it's more so with being able to get yourself together and having that structure.
I need to be able to do both. Like, I need to be able to go roller skating and then come home and talk for 3 hours about nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
I need to balance both. Like, I'm a big kid at heart. You guys see me. I'm laughing all the time. Like, I need to come upstairs and throw a pillow at you, and it's a big old pillow fight for no reason, like that. But that's really how I am. Like, don't let me get some Nerf guns in this house.
But not with your last $50. Not with your last $50. That's not your choice.
Say that again.
Not with your last $50. That's not your choice.
Whoa,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you down and out financially, and you don't have your money together, ain't gonna be no roller skate, ain't gonna be no pillow fighting.
Why?
Y'all be
Why?
fighting
Why?
over other stuff.
Why do I have to give up my pillows if I'm broke? Wait a minute. I still go to sleep at night.
Broke don't mean good dreams sometimes, man.
She said she still got pillows, Dre.
I got pillows, dang it.
We might not have nowhere to lay them.
Your stomach gonna be
I was
growling.
mad confused. Like, what?
One of the
I hear that or not, my husband is burning down the house.
no, we
Say
don't
that
hear
again?
it. You know, Tammy, Chef
Yeah.
Tammy. So, you know, you said you newly married, right?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of women have I know their relationship goals is to get married.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you think women need to do to fulfill that goal? Because obviously you've done it.
I'll make you laugh. I'll make you laugh.
The Empress is on her way of getting married. So obviously y'all done something right.
Let me answer the question.
Right.
I'll make you laugh. And ladies, anybody that wants to listen to this, I promise you, this is my personal experience, but I promise you, when you stop looking with your eyes and look with your heart, because man, I liked a certain thing. Anybody that knows me knows what I liked, and when I stopped looking for that and actually paid attention to substance, quality, value, morals, responsibilities, education, and realized that thing that I liked that was so nice to my eyes, but was so horrible to my heart. You know what I'm saying? I looked outside the box. And once I stopped looking for what I wanted, the universe sent me exactly what I needed. And it's nothing like what I like. Go figure.
And what about you, Empress?
So it's funny because Tammy and I had a conversation, like,
yes, we did, sister. Tell us.
And we have a similar story. It's really funny. We have to actually sit down and have some girl talk, but we have a similar story. And part of like what Tammy just said, so everybody knows, like, we were long distance for like the first half of our relationship, and it was long distance was something I avoided like the plague. And I don't mean like I live in New York and he lived in New Jersey. Like, he lived 1,000 miles away, you know, so it was a plane ticket. But it was like the one time I was just like, I keep fighting this, but nothing's working here. So let me give it a shot. And from 1,000 miles away, I got the most intimacy I've ever gotten.
Amen.
Oh, all right.
So the moral of the story, ladies, is just go outside the box, ladies.
Right.
It's okay to go outside the box.
Step outside your comfort zone. Stop running from the nice guy. Stop running from him.
You know what?
That nice guy is also an educated guy. He's responsible. He's God-fearing. He's mother-loving. That nice, you know, listen, there's something to the nice guy. He's pretty freaking dope.
What you're describing is a quality man. What you was going to say.
Absolutely. And people want to call that the nice guy. That's not a nice guy. That's just a good man.
Right.
Right.
What you say, Drip?
I said, right.
So
wait, Drip isn't arguing with us?
He's actually
Drip ain't got his living room up. He don't want to fight.
Right. He can curse tonight. So, you know, relationships are very complex. Right. And everybody's relationship is unique in its own way. You know what I mean? But there are some things that's parallel between, you know, like, I just want to bring this up. You ever speak to your friend and you describing your relationship, but it almost sounds like they're talking about yours? Right. That's how close we are in similarities to things. We're not that far apart in experience. It's unique to, you know, whatever it is in your relationship, but we're not that far apart when we all kind of go through things. So people a lot of times think they're going through things by themselves, but in reality, we all kind of face the same things, you know. What do you think the hardest part right now of being in a relationship is?
For us, or just in general?
I would probably say the hardest part for me being in a relationship would probably be just the sharing of myself. I'm very, you know, as a single woman, I built up this wall and I built this sense of independence for myself as, I don't need anybody to do anything. And you get set in these ways. So it's very hard for me to allow him to take care of me, which is what he wants to do. And not in the sense of financially, that just period. Like, baby, can I get you something? I'm like, oh no, I can get it, you know. And it's like,
right.
just letting. It's hard for me to let my guard down and just allow myself to be a couple and not a single person. So that's the thing that I'm learning. I'm learning that, okay, it's not just about you no more, chick. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you got this whole dude you sleep next to now. You know, you gotta think about him too. I'll be like, oh. So that, I think for me, that will probably be the biggest thing. It's just, you know, remembering that it's not just about you anymore. You know, it's a unit. You're a unit now.
Right. What about you, Empress?
Honestly, the same thing. Like, you know, I'm the youngest of 3 girls. So like, and my dad was Mr. Fix It. Like, I don't know if there's anything this man can't fix. Like, I've watched him build a whole part of a house by himself. Like, you know, so it was like, you know, I was always super independent like that because I lived alone for a while. And then when I was dating, like, I was the one that was the Mrs. Fix It. And you know, I always had to take care of everything myself. Like, it wasn't even like I wanted to, I had to. It was either take care of it or fall on your face. I'm not falling on my face. I work too hard. And then, you know, we talk about in girl talk or in, you know, Facebook conversations, like, we want somebody to lead. We want somebody to lead. We want somebody to lead. Right. I found somebody who will do it, who like wants to do it. He wants to lead us. And it's so hard. I don't even know when I'm doing it sometimes. And it's like I just had a whole baby and I'm getting up to go downstairs and wash the dishes. And everybody's like, where are you going? I'm like, the dishes need washing. Like, you know, it's forced to happen.
It's hard to give up those reins.
And then when I'm sitting down and I'm watching him, like, you know, take care of something for me, I'm like, okay, Empress, just enjoy it. You know, watch TV. Just chill, relax. You got it. He got it. And it's hard.
I mean, a lot of it is in relationships, in my opinion, it's really compromise. A lot of that is compromise. But what I realize with a lot of women also is they like to, and I made a post about it. If you watch one of the hard truths, it's kind of like what you're talking about. It's about a quality woman that's not used to a man that can be on their level or a level above, right? So most women that I run into, their experience with men is doing a lot for men. So when they get a man that can step up to the plate and do stuff, it's like,
it's confusing.
I guess subconsciously, you feel like, okay, so what am I going to do for this man? Because he doesn't need anything from me.
Right.
And so it's hard
you don't trust it.
Say that again?
At first you don't trust it. You're like,
you don't trust it.
Right. It becomes this with a man and a woman like that. And it shocks me because it's like, why are we arguing if you don't have to put that much into the relationship? What's the fight about?
We're arguing about.
Right.
There's always that thing where they waiting for you to be a new person.
For the other shoe to drop.
You thinking the representative been here all the time? Well, I want to see the real you now.
But are we wrong for that, Drip? How many people, men and women, that representative is there? You know, like
I got one question though. As you asked me, are you wrong for that? Do you walk through life every day living to die? It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. But why look for it?
But that's like saying when I get in the car.
You gotta live in your truth.
Well, let me find out. Put an MD on your name too.
I'm just saying. But
you got a DR for my name. He said I'm a doctor.
That was a helpful medical analogy you just gave there. I dug that.
You're not walking around living to die, but you walk around with precaution. You put a seatbelt on. You lock your door at night, like you. As you
should in a relationship. I'm not saying give yourself and sacrifice yourself, but I'm saying sometimes let your guard down and be open to love to receive it. How you gonna receive it if you're not open to it?
Listen, I had a conversation with someone, and it was very much about that. But how can somebody love you if they don't love themselves?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And the big problem is, and I see it all the time, women post it, self-love. But you have to listen, not just women. I'm just saying, I see Chef Tammy's eyes. Not just women, but I do see a lot of women posting that, like self-love. And the first thing I say about that is, yeah, it's true, but you have to practice that. You got to
practice what you preach. Like,
if you
First of all these social media psychologists and
right.
Part of practicing it.
it's like essentially it's like focus on yourself, and by no means are we ever trying to tell anyone what to do. We're just sharing personal experiences and our own personal advice, by and if there's anything that we say that can help you, by all means we love to help, but I mean, we're not here to to
Not
change your opinion one way or the other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
The point I'm making is that these I was just referencing that to these social media doctors that you see, these social media psychologists you see, everybody self love, do this, love yourself, do this, and they're like, wait a minute, but wasn't you just beating your baby daddy up on live? Like,
Right. For sure. So I think a lot of the fabric of these relationships, especially when it's women when I see women do so much and get so little, and that's what sometimes when a lot of you solid women, quality women in your mind, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think you look at a man that can actually do something for you like that. You still have that, I got to do something for him. I got to do something for him. And for me, it's just like, you got to kind of let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, value that man for what he brings to the table. So
I can't make him dinner.
Huh?
I can't make him dinner.
Of course you can. Of course you can. But what I'm trying to say is, and I'm not particularly speaking to you ladies, I'm speaking to the ladies that normally deal with men that they have to do a lot of stuff for. And then when you run across a quality man that brings certain things to the table, you don't know how to change the magnitude of that relationship because you're so used to this. So it's kind of hard for you to make that shift and saying, okay, wow, I don't have to invest that much in.
And you resist it, and they resist it as well.
Right, right.
There's resistance.
Right.
There's a learning curve to it. It's not instant,
totally.
And it takes trust from both partners.
It's the same thing from God.
She has to trust him that that's really him and not his representative, like Drip said. But he also has to trust her that she's learning, because it's not going to be instant. You know, if she's 30, 35, 40 years old, that's what she's been doing her entire her life.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
could I ask you ladies a question? Could I ask you ladies a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
What majority of women you think are in relationships or been in relationships that did deal with men that they have to do a lot of things for? Help, use their car, give them money.
I don't want to put on a ratio. I don't want to.
No, I don't want you to put a ratio
because I don't have numbers or anything like that. But I can tell you, we've all been that woman. Once,
at least once.
Twice in any of our relationships. We've all been that woman. You may not be that woman every time, but there are certain scenarios that required you to be that woman. I've been that woman. My first marriage, that's what was required. And guess what? I had no problem with it because you know what? I reaped the benefits. I reaped the benefits of everything I did. Right. You understand? I was never underappreciated. I was appreciated for everything I did. Wow. But however, there was a certain way that things were supposed to be, and I was fine with it. This marriage, totally different. I'm a chef. He does all the cooking. I don't even cook anymore.
Wow.
Go figure. Whereas my first husband never cooked. Wow. Right. He is married, not one meal. So I'll say, I would you agree, Deb? Empress, I would say we've all been that woman one time or
yeah, I definitely have. And I've done it more than once because I'm such a mush, you know, I'm an educator, so my go-to is teach, help, nurture. That's just my personality.
I'm a nurturer.
I'm a nurturer for a long time. That's just my energy when you come that. Ever take care of it, you know, fix your drink, whatever, make you good. So, but I can say this, even when it wasn't reciprocated or even when I ended up getting hurt, there was still a lesson in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So who I am in a relationship now, that dope girl that I am now, I don't think I would be without being that person then.
Right.
I wouldn't be that person that he's like that he loves. I don't think so.
So let's shift gears a little bit. We talked about, the relationship goals and how men and quality women sometimes interact and kind of not knowing how to pivot when you find somebody of quality. But let me ask the age-old question to the room. And everybody that's in the comments, Cleo said, not me. She ain't one. She ain't one to be I guess she's saying she's not one to take care of a man like that. Like, I guess, in other words, she said not me. I guess I should ask her, write in the comments what you mean by not me.
Yeah, because what the question I would ask you to ask Cleo, can you tell me, as just being totally honest, you've never in any relationship that you've had that be an instance where you were more subservient than dominant? I think we've all we've all been to that place, and it's not a bad place to be. Listen, if you're comfortable with that place, it's not a bad place. If all parties involved or in agreement said this is what we want, I'm gonna cook and clean for my husband. That's just the way it is, and that's the way he likes it, and we're all cool. That there's no problem with it. No one's talking down to the situation at all. You know what I'm saying? Right. So ask Cleo that for me. I would ask Cleo that.
She actually
answered she does not mind as long as it's not a requirement.
No, never a requirement, Mama. Right. Never a requirement. It's just something that's more of sometimes it tends to be an understanding. You understand? Like an understanding between two individuals. I just understood. I understood very well that my ex was gonna work and I was gonna
stay home,
take care of the home, take care of the and people miss the fact that there's still a sense of balance in that. Right. There's still a sense of balance. There's still an equality to that. There's no one lesser than the other. At the end of the day, if we're meeting 100% together, who cares if it's 80, 20, 50, 30, 60, 40? Let's just make that 100.
Right. And that's a great way
to real talk, it shifts. Right. It's gonna be it's gonna be me more one time and him more another time, and
absolutely.
I might lose my job and it's gonna be him more another time, or there's certain kids that I like with certain things with the kids only I can do, and there's certain things with the kids only he can do. Like it's gonna shift.
Absolutely.
Cleo, thank you for saying it's not, as long as it's not a requirement. I don't think it should be a requirement to
never be a requirement.
Person. Well, I think it's what you and your partner make it.
Right.
Absolutely.
My man Bruce said, is there something wrong with the husband wanting his wife all the time?
What does he mean by wanting? What does he mean by wanting?
I guess he want his woman. He want. I'm assuming
physically, or
physically.
Is there something wrong with are you wanting her all the time, or are you satisfying her needs as well? I mean, if you could want something all the time, and what if you're not giving her what she needs to give you what you want all the time?
Right.
It can't be just that you want something. Are you supplying her with what she needs to give you what you want?
Well, I'll wait for that comment to come in, but we're going to shift the gears just a little bit because it was two topics. So we talked about the magnitude and quality men, quality women. We answered some questions, but I want to get to this point. The other question is, can you have sexual relations with the same person for the rest of your life? I'm going to tell you right now, for me, I don't know.
I can't wait to see the comments on this one.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm single. So I like the fact that I'm able to have a variety of things. You see what I'm saying? It works for me. So, but if I was in a committed relationship, I think at this point in my life, to be honest with you, yeah. I could definitely be committed to one person, but sexually, she would have to be wanting to do every single thing that I want to do ever in life.
That's a great answer. And I would probably concur and probably say the same thing. At this point in my life, sex for me has shifted, as far as its importance. You understand what I'm saying? There are other things that are just a lot more important to me at this point. And as far as, compatibility, my husband and I seem to be very compatible in that respect, where it's not him wanting it all the time, or we meet in the middle and we're okay with, the amount, it's just the other things we're focused on, you know what I'm saying? So at this point in my life, I say absolutely. I can be with him forever and not have a problem with it sexually.
Right. But as long as y'all able to explore and do things that you want to do,
whatever it is that that makes us happy. It's not even about fulfilling his fantasies or me fulfilling mine, vice versa. It's what makes us both. Like, you good, I'm good, we good, are we good?
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of looking at it, because I think when it comes to those things, and I've heard a lot of stories where women have certain fantasies, but they scared to tell their husband because what he's gonna think. And men want certain things, but they don't want to ask their girl or wife. Like, my thing is, if you're married, y'all should be able to talk about anything under the roof.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? I was actually gonna say that. So, like, one of my favorite things about our relationship is we can talk about it.
Cleo said, Adina Howard, freak like me. Now Bruce said, and then you could answer the question.
No problem.
Empress, and then we go to Drippy. But Bruce answered that question. He said, I want her in every way, not just sexual.
Beautiful. So that's what he meant. Okay, so yes. So no, it's not wrong for you to want her all the time. Of course not. But you have to find a compatible partner that wants you all the time.
Right.
You will find somebody out there that wants you just as much as you want them. You do not have to settle for somebody.
Pepe Le Pew always chased Petunia. It was cute.
It is cute, but you know what? Deep down inside, she always really wanted him too. Did she ever really run that fast? She ain't never run that fast.
And she had her tail up, just hopping along.
Her tail up. Let him get a little sniff. The slow wine is working, y'all.
Right. So, Empress, what do you think as far as sex? Can you have sex with the same person for the rest of your life? And if you can, what are the conditions or parameters?
So, I absolutely can, but like before I got into this relationship, I always said I can't do mediocre sex. Like, I can't. What the hell
is mediocre sex?
I cannot be in a relationship with mediocre sex. I can't.
What is it?
He wants a definition. Now, he's a teacher. He wants a definition.
I'm a doctor. I'm teaching my patients right now. What is mediocre?
It's not really easy for me to define it because everybody likes something different. Mediocre for me.
So what does it mean? Lackluster? Is that a better word?
Lackluster. Yeah. Like no spontaneity. No. I dated a guy one time. He was so. You guys read if anybody read 50 Shades of Grey, like they call it vanilla sex. Like it was just like the exploration wasn't there. Like he just things that were about me. He was just like, ew, you still do that? And I'm like, but it's sex. We're adults. We're grown-ups. Like, what's wrong with you? Like I need somebody willing to talk about like different things. And hey, babe, what kind of videos you watch? And what kind of, what do you do? And like talk about that. What's that one dream you always had, but you never really did it, but you never want to tell me. But like, I need somebody to go there with me. Bruce said it in the conversation, in the comments. He's like, yo, no, not Bruce. Sorry. Cleo said it. Sex starts before the bedroom. She's absolutely right.
Right.
If I can have that conversation with you out the bedroom and maybe build sexual tension every once in a while.
That's dope. Drippy? Drippy, can you have sex with the same person for the rest of your life? And if so, what are the conditions and parameters?
I mean, right now, at this point in my life, I'm not even entertaining it. So it's like I'm not even. I could do it. That's what I would like to do. But to me personally, it takes a lot of building. You got to have a righteous person. So you got to have good sexual chemistry. You got to have a lot of things built up. So now you got to have your money right. You got to have your life right. I got to have a life with that person. So it's more than just sex. I could definitely have sex with one person for the rest of my life, but I'd have to have a life partner.
It has to be the right person.
Fulfill that commitment. for me to fulfill that commitment, that's a commitment. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna sign up and say that I'm gonna be committed for the rest of my life, 100%, I could do it, but right now I'm not even at a sexual state right now. Keeping it 100 though, like that's not even where I'm at right now. So it's so much more. So I could definitely 1000% have sex with one person for the rest of my life. Monogamy, yes.
Nice.
Yo, it's funny. Cleo said, the older you get, the more you willing to tell your partner, let's do this and let's do that. You
Well,
know
then
what?
shoot, he in trouble.
That's true.
'Cause I'm the baby out the crew, and I done told him everything.
Right.
Or
Well,
you become more comfortable.
Say it again.
I said you become more comfortable.
Right. But so is that a question? As you get older, are you willing to say things that you wasn't willing to say 10 years earlier?
Oh, absolutely. You crazy?
Absolutely. 10 years earlier, I was more worried about what other people might think and judging me rather than, hey, I might be giving myself an opportunity to explore this.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that I've got older, I think I'm more direct, and I think I'm more precise on what I want. I don't have a problem telling you exactly what, as a man, I don't have a problem telling you exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. And it's not my job to kind of wear kids' gloves with grown people. When I talk,
not at all,
not disrespectfully at all, but I talk very bluntly. Yeah. And you know, I learned that's the best way. I think people really like when you talk to them that way in a relationship instead of sugarcoating. Because what do people come back with? Well, why you didn't say it like that before? If you would have said it like that, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's one thing that's always been me though. Like I've always been like straightforward. Chef could tell you, like I've always like it is what it is. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Love you, bye-bye. But like, you know, I've always been that way because I don't ever want somebody to come to me and say, you never told me.
Right.
Or you left that out. No, I told you. You might have not been listening, but I definitely told you.
So is there, let me ask the ladies in the room this, and anybody that's in the comments could actually answer. Is there a truth to men and women are really that different when it comes to communicating or
no
comprehending?
I don't think so. And the only reason why I say I don't think so is I think it's the same thing. You have to be, the person has to be willing to speak and the other person has to be willing to listen. Right. Because I know women who just want to hear what they want to hear, but I also know men who just want to hear what they want to hear. Right. So communication has no gender.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel a lot of women communicate nonverbal.
But so here's the loophole with that. You're gonna know communication with women more because you date women. I'm gonna know communication with men more because I date men. But if you listen, if we took the gender out of it and just said, with this person, I have this problem, we probably would have things that are parallel.
Gotcha.
You with women and me with men, but our experiences are going to be skewed because you deal with more women and I deal with men. Like,
I dig what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, as far as relationships and me talking to men and talking to women and, you know, dealing with women and dealing with women that's dealt with women, what we all seem to have experienced mostly was that a lot of things was nonverbal communications was the problem. The communications would always be either one-sided or a lot of shit stuff would just kind of like not be said or just more so actions and then words.
Passive aggressiveness.
Word, you know it. Talk that talk. Gas.
I hate that.
Right.
Yes. I hate that. But to me, that's childish. I don't know if that's a gender thing. To me, that's childish because I know men who are just like, nah, I'm not even gonna argue about it. So they just don't say anything.
Right.
So and then I'll even ask, like, yo, why you say something? I didn't want to argue about it.
Well,
it wasn't even an argument if you said something.
Well, let me give you a different scenario, right? So, like, I guess I had this conversation with, you know, a young lady I was dealing with, and it, like, she did something and said something I didn't like. Not that it didn't bother me, but I just felt like it was the first time she said it, So I didn't say anything to her about it, right? Let me, Miss Chef Tammy's in. Let me make sure she gets back in the room. There she is. So I didn't say anything to her about it. Because I just feel I'm not a complaining man. I'm not going to complain about things, but I look for routines. I look for things you do over and over again. Because is it correct that people can say, for instance, you're out to dinner and you say something that might have sound wrong and came across wrong? The person that you said it to may not say nothing to you about it, but that may be something that you can self-correct. Like, okay, let me make a note. I'm not going to do that. That's why I don't jump out of the window when I'm dealing with somebody and something happens. But I had a lot of women tell me, well, why you didn't say nothing the first time? Because I always say, because one, I'm not a complaining man. And two, I look for routine. If you do it more than 2 or 3 times, then I'm going to tell you something. But what they get upset about is, so you're gonna let this happen 3 times and you're gonna tell me the 3 times it happened? I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, now it's a routine.
Why? Yeah, you're making a habit.
So, but I can see both sides of it.
Right.
Right.
So, like, you don't know what you don't know. So, if I did something and it bothers you, and I don't know, I don't like upsetting people I care about. I don't like bothering people I care about. I really try to respect people. Don't even try. Like, I respect how people feel. You know? So the fact that like you felt a way and you allowed me to continue doing it unknowingly that it made you feel a way. Yeah, I would actually feel bad. Like, yo, why didn't you say anything? And in my head, I'm like, yo, I just made him feel like shit. And I kept doing it. I felt like you let me walk into a trap, so to speak.
Really?
So I can see both sides of it, but I understand what you're saying. Like, well, it could have been a fluke. She might not always do that. Let me see if she does it again. So I see both sides of it.
I noticed that, you know, in my scenarios, in my cases, the women that I've dealt with, because I'm like that, the main thing they say is, why you didn't say nothing the first time?
I would too.
Hold on. I got a solid argument to that.
Go ahead.
Like, okay, cool. I didn't say nothing the first time, but now that I address it, it's not about when I said it. It's about, can you correct it?
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
All right, now though, but hold on.
Let's not get into how many times. Let's not get into why I didn't.
Gosh.
What do you mean? Can you fix it? I guess you can't fix it. That
depends on what it is. Like, all right, so I had this come up, right?
Right.
I like talking on. I don't like talking on the phone when I'm home. When I talk on the phone is when I'm driving. So that's usually my commute to work and my commute home.
Mm-hmm.
I work in a school, so my commute is earlier because school doesn't start at 9. School starts at 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So I'm on the phone sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had a male friend. We were friends for like almost 20 years. Chef, you met him once.
I'm sure I did.
And I was seeing a guy, and he noticed that like my call log had a 7 a.m. phone call with this person. He knew him. But then he's like, this is months now. I don't know, because this is my normal.
Right.
And now he's just like, nah, what's up with you and so-and-so? Why he calling you at 7 in the morning? I'm like, on the
we
phone.
don't like that. We don't like that.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I went through something similar, and that would bother me too.
But did he say something about it?
He didn't say anything until months later, and when he already decided he didn't want to see me anymore.
Okay, so
see,
wow. My thing is,
you ain't use that as an excuse, bro.
You said
you use that as an excuse.
She ain't stopped your behavior.
Right. You said that
was the behavior. He didn't know. I didn't know he felt a way about it. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he really did.
That was my normal.
Use that as an excuse, is what I'm saying.
Probably.
But when you found out, you wasn't willing to stop, though.
No, when I found out, I said, yo, all you had to do was tell me, and I could tell him, like, yo.
Well, was you willing to stop? I'm not saying was.
Yes.
Because it was too late at that point. It already broke up with her.
He already checked out of the relationship. Because
he kept doing it probably after. It's not like he found out. It's not like he found out and then like the next day he was like, oh, peace out.
No. We started dating in March. He didn't say anything to me till October.
Okay, and how long after that did y'all break up?
2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it was dwindling. It was dwindling. It was a plane going down.
He had already put it in his mind that this was some dude I was doing something with. I'm like, dude, I've known him for 10 years before I even met you.
It's just not solid behavior in a relationship when you found something with a woman. I don't care what you say. You could say it's a sidebar excuse, but you're not gonna feel like, okay, cool. Same situation happens, and it's a dude that you used to have dealings with. That's sticky situations, and that's tough terrain. Nobody wants that. I don't want to share my partner with nobody else. Not on an intimacy level. Not this dude's waking up and like, my girl's the first thing on your mind. I don't like that. Period. That's just not gonna work for me.
I'm also not dictating your friendships though. Like, so I don't like
not dictating, but boundaries.
Again, this is my norm because it's my commute to work. We are up heading to work. So I'm not going to know it's an issue for you until you state, hey, this is an issue for me. Because it's not an issue for anybody else.
Right.
Nah, but my norms when I get into a relationship are not my norms no more because now I have different behavior. I can't have my normal behavior, like things that I might have been doing with female friends that I had interactions with when I'm in a situation and when I'm kind of like dating somebody and I kind of like got rules and things like we kind of.
No, there's certain things I don't do anymore. A phone conversation while we're driving to work is.
Yeah, but a phone conversation with somebody that you used to lay down with is a little bit more extensive than somebody that you just used to be cool with. That's a
not if I trust the person I'm with. My hubby's friends with a couple of people he's dated. I have no problem with them.
All right. I mean, I think when it comes to that, that's a sticky situation because
if he's calling every morning. If he's calling every morning, you'd have.
No, it wasn't every morning. But every morning I talk to somebody different. I talk to my dad. I talk to like.
But no, you said it was a frequent on the ride to work. If your husband,
no, I talk to people on the ride to work.
Okay, so I'm saying what I'm saying is, if you had a husband, I'm not trying to argue. I just want to question it because I always question how somebody else's stances be. So if you had a husband that your husband has ex-girlfriends that he used to deal with, if he speaks to them every morning on his way to work, you ain't gonna trip. You ain't gonna have no dealings. You ain't gonna have no feelings about that.
Of course.
I just want to know because that's what
I don't know because I wasn't talking to him every morning.
But you said it was frequently on your trips to work. Frequent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a problem. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Right, Dr. Feelgood. I'm gonna have a problem.
I'm definitely having a problem.
I'm gonna have a big problem.
I'm with you, Tam. I'm with you, Chef. I'm with you. We could drink
I don't know, because I'm just like, if they wanted to be with them, they would be with them.
Right.
Nah, but you still got to
be with them. They would be with them.
But you got to respect your relationship and not do things that's uncomfortable.
So let me.
For me, it wouldn't be uncomfortable. But you have to let me know that you're uncomfortable. First of all, I didn't even know you had my phone.
But see, look, this is the deal, right? And I understand what Empress is saying. He never said nothing until he was already out the relationship.
I get it.
Yeah, totally. There was nothing she could do about that. That's why I'm saying that I really don't think that was the excuse. I feel like he used that as the excuse to get out of the relationship. Come on now, because if it was really bothering him, he would have been said something. Come on.
I think in his head, he was just like, "Oh, there's something going on," and just went with that rather than be like, "Yo, what's up?"
So let me put this into the room and y'all tell me. The other day I put up a post and it says, basically I'm gonna paraphrase it because I can't remember it exactly, but it was basically saying when you're in a relationship, you have to recondition your mind for that.
100.
Right.
Yeah.
So the things that you do when you were single, you have to have a different mind state when you're in a relationship because now you're looking for two people, not just yourself, right?
Right.
So that's what I meant when I said earlier about self-correction.
Guys, I got a family emergency. I got to go. You guys be well. Have a great time. Love you guys.
All right. So when you have these issues with people or these different things that you do when you're single, isn't it right to kind of change some of those things? Like
yeah, absolutely.
Like for instance, if he did it, like Dre was saying, if that was something that you know and he did, that wouldn't bother you at all?
Honestly, like I said, it depends on who it is. So I was the girl that I have a lot of guy friends.
Sandy G said that's a problem.
I have a lot of guy friends. So like when I'm single, like we do things like, yo, Empress, grab a case of beer, come watch the game. Like, you know, I would do things like that, and I'd be like the girl in the crew. Like one of my when I was single,
right?
Like, you know, one of my boys, like, yo, come down in the man cave. Like, I was allowed in the man cave. Like, you know, or they call me by my last name because I used to be one of their supervisors. I was their boss, so they call me by my last name. Oh, nah, she's a dude though. Don't worry about it. Like, because they were doing a guy's night for his birthday. Right. Like, so, but when I'm in a relationship, nah, I don't hang with them like that.
Okay.
Unless my dude is with me.
Right.
That's you know what I mean? There's just certain things I won't do. I still keep in contact with them. I'm still their friend. Like, my friendship isn't based on my relationship status. Because then what kind of friend does that really make me?
Right.
If I can just pick you up and drop you like an accessory, like a purse, like a hat.
I got you.
You know,
a lot of people do that though.
I know a lot of people do that. It won't be me.
Well, listen, you know, I think that's a great conversation that we could bring up for another time. You know, let's ask the room, you know, before we get out of here, let's leave on that note. Does your relationship dictate some of your friendships? Will you still be in a relationship and still deal with your exes? Is that okay? I'm asking the room that's in the comments. Is that okay if you're in a relationship and still carry on a relationship with your exes?
What y'all think?
Yeah, what y'all think? Me, I'm gonna tell you right now, Dr. Feelgood.
What's up? Not a word.
Not for me. I'm not, you know, not for me. And it's because I have to look at I have to look at everything like this. Will I do that? No. And it's not that we're the same person, but that would make me very uncomfortable.
Right.
Like, you constantly on the phone with a dude you was dealing with. Nah, I ain't co-signing that. I ain't giving the green light to that. So for me, my answer would be that would be something we would, if you want to be in a relationship with me, that's not gonna work. I don't mind having guy friends, but guys you used to deal with and still on the phone and talking to them and telling me, well, you know, we've been cool for, then you need to, that's the relationship you need to work on then, not the one that we in, because I'm out of that one. That's me though.
It's a difference if I got just my loins invested. If I got time invested and my money invested and my heart invested, it's not going to work because there's too many boundaries crossed and I just can't have no time for the gray area. It's a gray area. Period.
I think, like I said, I think it depends on the relationship or the friendship, because not all breakups are bad and not all breakups are bad mind. Like, you know, I'm from the Caribbean, so not all breakups are bad mind. Like, you know, some people are just genuinely like, I have a couple of guys that I used to date. We're just really off better as friends. Like, the exploration of that ever happen again? Nah, you know? So, as long as you respect me and you respect my man, we're good. The second you do something disrespectful, he not even going to have a chance to punch you in your face because I'm going to do it first.
Right.
You know, like, because if I'm your friend first, then you're going to respect me and the things that I have going on in my life.
All right. I agree.
Yeah, I think part of that also in that dynamic of a relationship also depends on what kind of partner you got too. Because sometimes your partner you got will put pressure on you to not have certain relationships as well. But me personally, my partner don't have to tell me that. That would just be I'm cool with everybody I used to deal with, but do I talk to them? Nah.
So I have a comment to my inbox because they can't get to the comments. And so he says, depends on the ex, all relationships wasn't that deep.
So why do they have to linger? If some relationships, I just say if the relationship's not that deep, it should come with an expiration date and it should be a new time in your life. Why you got time to entertain that energy?
Why is it everybody has to be cut off? That's what I'm saying. Not everything ends bad.
Because your life is continuing.
You and me, like, say you and me dated and we just decided, nah, this ain't really going on. Maybe we didn't have the greatest chemistry as a couple.
Right.
Does that mean now I just mute you? I just don't talk to you no more?
I got bad associates, but we just don't make it a priority to be in each other's life like that. I don't know.
Nobody said anything about making a priority, but like, I have people I hit up every once, like friends who are married. Yo, what's up? Are you good? Just checking on you, giving you a shout. Like,
I mean, it all depends on the person you are. Like for me, I don't do and I can only speak for me, and anybody in the room, they might agree or may not agree. I don't do too much reaching back. When we done, it's over. I mean, it ain't. If it didn't work at that time, it just don't work for me. I'm not looking for it to work, and I'm not looking to continue to have a certain kind of friendship with you. I'm one of those people that just move on.
Right, but you said a certain kind of friendship. So like there are people that I was cool with first for I don't know, maybe a year or so, and then we dated, and then it was like, nah, you know, we should have just stayed friends. Like I dated somebody I knew for 15 years before we dated.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
So let me give you this scenario real quick, and then we're gonna close out the room and answer these questions and come back next week. You're in a relationship with somebody. They have somebody that they was dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said, y'all was friends for 15 years. Y'all decided to make something happen. It didn't pan out. You went back to friends. Now you're dating somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that comes into your life that's going to hear that. Now, I hear a lot of people, I'm not just going to say women, but I hear a lot of men and women say, well, I'm not cutting off my homegirl, or I'm not cutting off this dude for you. Like that's the friendship I had before you came here. Now, if that makes them uncomfortable, why would you take that position? That's my question. Why would you?
So if my man comes to me and say, "Hey, babe, listen, I know you and so, because he knows a couple of friends of mine. You know, babe, you know, I'm like, I just got a weird vibe. I'm not comfortable with so and so. It's a conversation that me and him need to have about our relationship. Okay, babe, I'm hearing you. You're not comfortable. Let's talk about it. All right, cool. I hear you. I go to my friend. Hey, you know what? He's not cool with XYZ. We're going to have to back off. I have no problem doing that. What I have a problem with is the blanket insecurity. Oh, I'm here now. You're not talking to them no more. Because I've had that happen too. What I don't like is the blanket insecurity. Because I've had that happen too. Like, you with me now, so you're not talking to them no more. And I'm like,
that ain't right. That ain't right.
I'm not doing that.
That's somebody that got control issues.
Yeah, that's a problem.
There's things that bother people, and then there's men that's controlling. I'm just talking about something that bothers somebody. Or to me, my anyone that I'm dealing with, whether it's now, if I'm dating, I'm dating. I don't care what you feel if I'm dating you now. But if we committed, it's a whole different story. Like if I'm committed to somebody, I definitely am not continuing any kind of relationships with anybody that I dealt with. And if that was the position that someone took with me, like say if I was with them like very strong about that, I'll either stay in the relationship and accept it, or back out of the relationship and say, you know what, that just ain't gonna work for me.
You know what I did? I observed. I watched.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'm like, okay, are they truly just cool? Or are they holding on? Is somebody holding on in hopes of rekindling? Like you can learn a lot in someone's body language and how somebody looks at somebody else, and how somebody speaks to somebody else. And
can that be misinterpreted though? If you don't have your security in place, if you insecure, can that be misinterpreted?
If I'm insecure, everything can be misinterpreted.
That's my point. So
when you're looking for something, you'll find it.
Right. Or you create it.
But if you bring the energy around, the thing is you're supposed to shield your partner from that and not even get that air down. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. If you're insecure, there's nothing I can do to make you secure.
Right.
No, I'm just saying. But as far as what company you choose to bring around or who you choose to bring in your life and keep you gotta control that part. That's what I'm saying.
Like I said,
the insecurities is somebody else's. That's
right. But like I said, my friends and I, we respect each other and we respect each other's relationships.
So
you know what I mean?
In closing, I'm gonna ask the room, everybody that's in the comments, I just want to shout out Sandy G. She said, I just cut ties. Cleo Crew, shout out to you. She's saying, my saying is I don't go backwards, which is cool. Shout out to Ernie Bryan. Who else is in here? Bruce Evans. A couple of people came in here tonight. Lavette Slater. Shout out to everybody that came in, watching, participated. My question to the room, and we're going to leave this to the comments and we're going to close out. Will you, in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, committed relationship, not dating, is it okay for you to keep your exes around? Please leave us that in the comments. We thank y'all for watching. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here, Empress?
Just want to say, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the feedback in the comments. The conversation is great. I want as many people to be a part of this as possible. Thank you for the inboxes. Share it with your friends. Invite people. Hey, make it well, we can't really do it with COVID, but make it a watch party.
Watch the show with your watch your show with your partner, your spouse.
Let's do a watch party.
Right. Let's
get
do
these
this
conversations going.
Help us kick this off. Drippy, anything? I'm sorry for talking over you, Empress.
No, you're perfect.
You got me amped up real quick.
Yeah, all I want to say is peace, prosperity, and love. Empress, thank you for the conversation. It's enlightening. It's good to get a different perspective.
Always, as always.
Dr. Phil, good. Thank you. Thank you for the visit. It's been beautiful. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Good night. Thank y'all for tuning in. Next Sunday, 7 p.m., the conversation with James Billings and friends. We will be back. Peace.
Night, y'all.